Sonia Edwards, your lovely bride.
I do want to say thank you to Brown Insurance.
Yes.
For allowing us to be out last night to give the election results.
Well, we were very glad to do it. That was exciting. That was my first time to, even during the presidential elections, I go to bed and wake up and find out what happens. That stresses
So
me
you didn't know
out.
about Trump overnight?
I didn't.
Yeah.
And when I woke up, I had these texts and missed calls, and I was like, something has happened. So, but anyway, it was exciting, and it was cool to be right there. But yeah, we were very glad to do that.
Well,
And thank y'all for going out.
Well, I was glad that we partnered up with y'all on that deal because, being the only news agency out there last night.
Well, no, you got to give the Alney
newspaper was there.
newspaper was there, but that was it.
Yeah.
But we were the
us.
only electronic one, and so we were glad that Brown Insurance was there.
And
Well, thank you.
by the way, I got a nice call. Actually, it was a text from Wynn Graham. Said they were listening to the results over at the Memorial Auditorium. So I thought that was really nice.
That's great. Well, yeah, we were glad to do that.
Well, y'all made it possible, so thank you very much. Let Brad know that I appreciate it.
I will.
What was he pulling his little matching trailer around his Jeep for?
I don't know.
Did you see that?
I did, but I don't know. Was it the motorcycle?
I
Rick
think-
probably knows more than
I think
that.
it was his little sidecar bike. He
Yeah.
was moving that around.
Well, I actually saw somebody with a green trailer, and I said, only Brad would have a trailer that color. And then I looked up and saw it was his Jeep,
Yeah.
that matching color that was driving by.
Yeah.
There you go.
So I had a good laugh. So, all right, what do you have for us this week?
First of all, I want to tell a little story. It's
right.
true. Because and what made me think of this is it's March, which means, at least in north central Texas, we have the potential for the spring storms,
Right.
And my mom grew up in a small town in Oklahoma, Conawa, Oklahoma, and there was I guess it was an Indian legend that if there was a town where three rivers met, that there would never be a tornado. And so, they didn't believe that or anything, but in 1962, which my mom was not living there, she was already married and living on an oil lease with my dad, the town was completely destroyed by a tornado. And nobody got hurt. And the reason nobody got hurt is because of the local radio guy.
Really? Yeah.
He got on there, everybody got to... But the way my mom found out about the storm, because this is before the internet and all this stuff, she got her hometown newspaper delivered to her wherever they lived on the oil lease. And there was a picture of her grandmother standing next to her bathtub, which was the only thing left of her grandmother's house. So it's just crazy. But I wanted to talk about that because it is coming. And, there's never been a tornado in Graham proper. There has been a surrounding, but not in Graham proper. But there's no legend, I don't think. There just never has been. But it could happen anywhere. And I think that, as I always say, you need to plan. So I think you and everyone in their family needs to discuss, okay, if we know that there's going to be bad weather, what are we going to do? Where are we going to meet? If we're not all home, how are we going to let each other know we're okay? That kind of thing. And, I think we all know the tips. I don't think I need to, go over the safety tips. Take cover, get in, hopefully in a storm shelter or something like that. But
Right, yeah.
if not, the innermost part of your house type thing. But we have done this for a long time, and Bryan Insurance sponsors
Severe
weather coverage.
Right.
And now, if it's bad, if we have a bad storm and we know that there are people that have had damage to their homes where they can't stay in them, we will be at the office.
Yeah.
But if Rick is here giving the bad weather reports and you're a client of Bryan Insurance and you have damage and you need to get a hold of us and we're not open, you call down here and he'll get a hold of us. So that's what I wanted to say. And it's just, we want to be there for our clients, and that's why people buy insurance, is for something that they can't control, unexpected, that's going to happen. And so we really appreciate the partnership with the radio station, that we can, get the message to one of us, that we will get a hold of our insurance company if it's in the middle of the night. We'll do something to get you through the night until we can get the insurance company or whatever. So that's what I wanted to talk about.
I know here in Texas that we're well aware of the tornado situation, the hail, and this and that. And don't ever assume in a million years that it'll never happen here.
Exactly.
Right.
And whenever I hear people say, "Well, I'll take cover when I see it coming," let me give you a little tip. Here about 3 years ago, I was out storm chasing doing a report, and I was told not to go to an area because there was a tornado there, and I was like, whatever, I've seen a million of these, I'm not worried about it. I got down there, and I'm going to tell you what, that thing was big, and it was fast, and it was moving, and it was coming right at me, and I had to get out of the way. And so, if you see anything like that, when there's a tornado warning, even a watch in the area, we need to take that very seriously. And if you don't have insurance on your home, your cars, or whatever it is, now's the time to get that taken care of before it happens.
That's right. Unlike a hurricane, we don't have lots of warning, you
No,
know,
no,
and
very little.
and so you know, you don't want to wait on that. And you know, if you're and maybe this is a time that you're thinking, oh gosh, this is coming up. Maybe I need to know what kind of insurance I have on my house or whatever. Call us. Let's go over it. Let's talk about it. You know, because I know I repeat myself every time, but you don't want to be surprised after the fact. You want to
No.
know before something happens. But the most important thing, I mean, things can be replaced, but people can't. So safety is of you and your family is of the key interest. And Rick's laughing at me because he has to force me to come to town if it's storming because I'm like, it'll be fine. And we live in a house that's 100 years old on
Now,
top of a hill.
Do y'all have a storm shelter?
No.
No, you never put one in.
Our storm shelter's right there where you're sitting.
Yeah.
Over here.
And so, you know, if it's going to be really bad, because it seems like it always happens at night. It's never during the day. And he'll be like, you really need to come to town with me. I'm like, it'll be fine. And then the weather knocks the satellite out, and I'm like, oh, man, no, I'm joking. If it's that bad, I am coming in.
What about people who, let's say they took their policy out in 1995.
Yeah.
And that policy was a certain levels and all that kind
Mm-hmm.
of stuff. Is that something they say, hey, I really probably need to take a second look at that?
Oh, yeah. Now, of course, the policy, you don't want to hear this technical stuff. A policy written in 1995 would be renewed on completely different forms now, but that's not what you asked. Yes, I think you should review your personal insurance at the minimum, bare minimum, every 3 years. I personally would say every year, but at the bare minimum every 3 years because there's so many different policy forms out there. Every company nowadays there was a standard form, and there still is, but nobody uses it. They have their own forms. And so it's really good to know, what do I have? Is there anything that might be better? Am I paying for something that I don't really want? You know, are there some things that I could take off in this part of the policy to spend more money in this part kind of thing? So I absolutely review that with your agent. It's important.
Yeah, this applies to home, your car, and all sorts of things.
Yeah,
so this
yeah.
is not, you can't just say, well, this is my home insurance. It's for everything.
It is. Oh, absolutely. Business insurance, I think you should review every year. I really do. So.
Okay.
All right.
Well,
Brian Insurance, our insurance tip of the day. Sonia, how do we get a hold of you?
Well, you can call me. Call us at 940-549-2525. You can visit us on the second floor of the Sierra Bank Building, or or on the web at www.bryanins.com.
I'm glad to see you feeling better too.
Thank
by the way,
you.
You and Stacy got knocked for a loop.
Yeah, I was not happy.
It was self-inflicted though. I heard you went in the house when you should have stayed out.
I know it's my grandkids. What do you want me to do?
Exactly. What do you do?
Stay in the
Yeah.
car.